Hi everyone, welcome back to today's video. I am Vishnu, a certified personal trainer. Okay, let's start with a simple question. When was the last time you memorized a new phone number or navigated to a new place without a GPS? If you can't remember, you're not alone. You're practicing something called cognitive offloading. It's a fancy term for a simple idea. You're using an external tool to reduce the mental effort needed for a task. Humans have already done this. Think of writing a shopping list. But AI has put cognitive offloading on steroids. Research from institutions like MDPI has shown that when we rely heavily on tools like search engines and AI assistants, our ability to think critically can take a hit. One study found a significant negative correlation between frequent AI use and critical thinking skills. Why? Because your brain is like a muscle. When you offload a task, you're essentially skipping a rep at the gym. Do it once, no big deal. Do it all the time, that muscle gets weaker. You stop wrestling with information, connecting the dots, and building those strong neural pathways that lead to deep understanding. So instead of learning how to find the answer, you just get the answer. Okay, that sounds logical, but what does this actually look like inside your head? Well, researchers at MIT wanted to find out. They took a group of students and had them write essays. They split them into three groups. One could use only their brain, one could use Google search, and one could use ChatGPT. And they monitored their brain activity with an EEG. The results were stunning. The brain only group, their brain lit up. The scans showed strong, widespread neural networks, especially in the parts of the brain associated with memory, creativity, and deep thinking. The ChatGPT group, the researchers found their brains had the weakest connectivity. The mental engagement was dramatically lower. As Time magazine put it, when reporting on the study, the AI users consistently underperformed at a neural level. Think about that. The very act of relying on the AI meant their brains were less active, less engaged, and working less hard. They weren't just outsourcing the work, they were outsourcing the thinking. So your brain works less hard in the moment. What's the big deal? This is where we get to the most important and frankly the scariest part: cognitive debt. You know how financial debt works. You borrow money for a short term gain, but you have to pay it back later with interest. Cognitive debt is the same idea, but for your brain. Every time you let AI think for you without engaging your own mind, you're taking out a small cognitive loan. The short term gain is speed and convenience, the long term cost, a potential decline in your own cognitive abilities. That same MIT study found that when the ChatGPT users were asked to write an essay without AI, their brain activity was still lower than those who had been using their brains all along. The ability to activate those crucial thinking networks was diminished. So, this isn't about forgetting the phone numbers. It's about potentially losing the ability to structure a complex argument, to creatively solve a problem from scratch, or to think critically under pressure. So you're trading away the future mental strength for present ease. Okay, this all sounds pretty bleak. So should we all just delete ChatGPT and throw our smartphones away? No, of course not. That's not realistic. The key is to shift how we think about these tools. We need to move from being a passive passenger to an active pilot. So, how do we do that? So, here are the practical ways you can start using AI today to ensure it helps, not hinders, your mental strength. First one, be the editor, not the author. Never let AI have the first or the last word. So instead of asking it to write an email about X, do the initial thinking and writing yourself. Now, the second one is to use it as a brainstorming partner. AI is excellent at generating ideas, but you should be the one to evaluate and connect them. This keeps your creative and critical thinking muscles engaged. Now, the third one is to treat it like a tutor, not the answer key. When you want to learn something, Don't just ask for the answer. Ask the AI to help you learn how to find the answer. Last but not least, practice brain only time. Deliberately create space for your brain to work without technological assistance. This is like taking your brain to the gym. So, by adopting these mindful habits, you can leverage the incredible power of AI as a tool to augment your intelligence, not replace it. So, look, AI isn't going anywhere. It's one of the most powerful tools ever created. But, like any tool, its impact, whether it builds us up or breaks us down, depends entirely on how we use it. So, we have seen that relying on it uncritically can lead to cognitive offloading, decreased brain activity, and the accumulation of dangerous cognitive debt. But by being mindful, by using it as a co pilot instead of an autopilot, we can leverage its power without sacrificing our own. So, the future of your brain isn't up to the AI, it's up to you. So, what are your thoughts? Have you noticed these effects in your own life? Let me know in the comments below. And if you found this video valuable, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more deep dives into how technology is shaping our lives. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.